Good morning, members, and good morning to the public. It's been a very interesting night. I suppose those of you been following the US Dow Jones in here as the market did try to compensate for the bad news that we've been seeing, the CPI figure, which came out to be 8.2, which is slightly lower than the past month of in August. But yet, the analyst was expecting 8.1, so they expect a sell down. But remember, humans can be wrong, but market seldom get it wrong. And that's why we saw when the market opened up, strength did come in from a down bar. And that's what precisely Tom Williams, the creator of volume spread analysis, did say before in here. When you see the kind of market exhaustion that we're seeing right now, where sellers been removed, as we've seen market falling and falling and falling, and then there's no more sellers, guess what? The sellers turn buyer, and that's why the market did rally as what we've seen in here. So how would this impact the rest of the market? Let's take a look at the KLCI market right now to see where we are this morning in here, and let's get on to our presentation I have for you this morning with VSA 360. I think some of you who would have bought the recent promotion on the 1010. Thank you for your support, and thank you for the your business in here that we enjoy all this year for your patronage. And I want to make sure that the next 3 months that you are well guided on capitalizing on the year-end rally that we are likely to get. Right, and if you have not done so, maybe you want to check out our 10-day free trial to see what you're missing out, worth 266 and a 30-minute training from our trainer in here to get you up into speed and possibly to recover some, not all, of the losses that you have for the year 2022, and at least end up with a better going forward 2023 with the focus on the KLCI market and the US market. VSA 360 will be more and more interesting going forward. So what have you missed out in here? Now let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in this session here. We'll be talking about market exhaustion in here. We have seen the complete reversal, right, in the US market. And would that translate to the KLCI market? We need to see a couple of new evidence coming in for the KLCI market. Right now, we do have two very important, which one already passed was on the October 7th, which was last Friday, the budget. But since the budget that we've seen, market continue to fall. And of course, these are also falling due to what we've seen in the US market in here. Now, right now, we have seen it on the likelihood that the stabilization of the market stages for the US market. And right now, KLCI market may just begin the stage 1 accumulation in here. And how did we do that? We want you to follow the green Pentagon guide in here. So those of you who have not got in the necessary tools in here, make sure you download a copy of Smart Roby from the Google and Apple Play Store. Those are completely free for you to use. And of course, for those of you who have the VSA 360, thank you for your support. We will want to make sure that you get on and capitalize on this small and short rally that you have, and how we want to be doing that this morning in here. Now, very important is to how to read those end of day down market in here and use this market exhaustion that we've seen. Market been down and down and down. I'm going to show you the chart where we see this exhaustion and how to capitalize on it. What are your rules when you see a down market? Do you just jump in here, or do you wait for the Sifu to come down? And even this morning we saw one of the Sifu, a very famous one, loses its license in here. I think you all know which one I'm talking about in here. Such a pity in here. Of course, we will see how the investigation goes going on for this Sifu in here. But let's get on to our show on our green Pentagon in here. Most important, I think those of you who've been following me this show, you probably know the accuracy and how good green Pentagon been helping you to trade, especially in this great market volatility. Now, if you're inexperienced, how does it work? The VSA 360 definitely has done a lot of the hard work for you in here. Join our program, of course, those of you who join us on the 1010 sales. Thank you again for your support in here. If not, then try out our 10-day free trial in here. Now, you can also follow us on our Pentagon Guided Trading Portfolio Tracker in here. That's a QR code that we trade with our real money in here for the longer and medium time frame. We also like to hear your feedback in here and use this QR code and just tell us what else you want us to post in. Now, let's get on to our VSA 360 in here with a lot of focus on the intraday due to the market volatility. Now, we are also featured some of the new features that we just released is the visual trading plan, stock alert and notification, and also the risk to reward in here to ensure that you follow a right trading plan and simply not jumping in. Now let's take a look on the 14th of October this morning here. Couple of things that we need to know of at least. Let's take a look and where we are right now and the 360 in here. So let's look into our dashboard once you log in here. Markets are breaking back to the 1380. You can see, just wait for the chart to come out in here. A lot of the stocks that we talk about, which I did put it in on Wednesday. Revenue is up 3%. Hibiscus is up 3%. Revenue, Genting, OCK, you got the Dayang, and you got B Auto. Those are doing pretty well in here, and you can see this market, which I'll talk about in here. But let's get on to the usual thing that we talk about. Healthcare really rebounding back, which is do see quite amazing in here. And if you look at the sector, which we'll do shortly, and I do think KLCI healthcare has already turned green pentagon almost 8 days ago, right? It's no surprises. You can see this already turned 8 days ago. And again, some of those you have the rubber glove, right? And you've seen Ivanta already started to make a move earlier on in the intraday alert. What would you do? Do you just quickly get out of it, or you slowly sell into this rally in here? Healthcare definitely has improved. Next on the list is REITs with industrial product, consumer, finance, and the worst performer right now is technology because of the news that the Biden administration has restricted a lot of the chip sales in here. I think I spoke about this previously also. But what has also translated since the 7th of October, you can see foreign funds did not like the budget 2023. You can see on the 7th, on the 8th, there were more outflow going in here. Maybe right now, with this reversal of fortune that we see in the US market in here, maybe the foreign fund will start to come in here. What do you think? Pencil your comment in here. I'd like to hear what you think about this right now in here. So if you look into the market right now, let's blow this up a bit, which I'm going to share with you shortly in here. We are looking into the markets are all green. Top Glove is up 2.9%. Then you have the Hata Inari is up back to 171. DG is up. So this is actually a good time for you to be collecting some of those shares. I said before in the VSA 360 seasonality for the month, which we're going to go to in next, for the month of September has always been this very negative return, -7%. You can see here. But right now, October month, we are -1.5. We may end with a positive in here, right? So let's take a look at the KLCI sector. There's only one sector which is actually turning green. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Right? There were one of our members did ask, what was the reason that we see this, change of? So I do think that there will be probably some earnings because ASC prices, the average selling prices may have stabilized for the KLCI in here, and so for the rubber glove makers, and that's why we are seeing the market breaking back. Also take note of this, the 20-day moving average and breaking above back to the 40-day moving average. So markets has been so heavily sold down in here, so it's good to see the rubber glove going back right now in here. We will take a look and sort this thing, this little issue in here on the chart wise, but don't worry about it. So you can see healthcare is the one, technology stock is the worst performer. So if you sort it out from here, technology, communication, even communication was one of the so-called sector, the 5G play on from the budget 2023, yet it undergo the kind of selling, and this is also due to the foreign funds sell off, and we have a big sell off in here. Maybe now it might stop, so we just don't know in here. These are some of the big sellers, but eventually they will turn up. Construction did hold its ground in here, but guess what? Did have the red pentagon also last night with a big sell-off in here. That's certainly not good. This morning we also had some news from the Star saying that the dish out of the project from budget 2023 wasn't sufficient enough to ensure that's why we see this sell-off that we see currently right now in here. All right. So in this market in here, Plantation will have some sort of Yup, a lot of them are still red Pentagon. The only silver lining right now is the KL Healthcare in here. Now, if you are watching this morning, this show live, you must be one of those very die-hard and never give up on the stock market. And it's my duty right now to bring you through in this market to show you some of those opportunities that we are able to see. And also, don't forget to check out our calendar for all our events in here. And not to forget, let's take a look at our so-called stock notification in here. First one will be definitely going to our alert. Renuco is turned red. Kawan Food has turned green Pentagon. George Ken, those are your so-called GE15 stocks turned red Pentagon. SK Press, MYEG, George Ken was the only one. It did turn green on the 13th, but 14 it turned back up. 13 and 14. So it'll be interesting. Let's take a look at George Ken. One up and one down. Right, you can see here one up, no follow through, sell back down again. That's probably this is due to the foreign funds buying, and then the next day there wasn't any. This is one of those stocks again. Shorter terms may have a bit of bearing in here, but majority of them are turning. But on the personal side of things, let's go back to see the alert here, right? And here we could see Kawan Fruit has turned green Pentagon. That's definitely one of the stocks we were looking at. Hit price upper. So let's take a look at Kawan Fruit here. And you can see nice one in here, will benefit from the consumer sector that we've seen so far, right? Sector seen so far. Now, if you have any stocks that you want me to look at or the prognosis, I think I've given some of these so-called outlook as well as in here. Do let us know in here. And so what we have seen in here, and these are the stock SK Press and Nuco. Mr. DIY also turned red Pentagon. So a lot of them are actually turning red Pentagon out there in here. This was number 50, now 41. It's a growth stock. It's a Shara compliance in here. But having said that, the P being 22 times, which is quite acceptable in here, but it's still rated. The ROE is a bit low here. Okay, the ROE is a bit low. Let's take a look at the company website in here. Yeah, we can see. You can see this was in Shah Alam. All right, truly delicious. They make roti canai. Okay, so about them. So let's go on to the next list that we have in here. Personal notification. I think I've showed you just a few one in here. Foreign funds hopefully they do come back. If they don't come back, then we will see likelihood this market's not going to be rallying up in here. Okay, so KLCI has reached the end of a stage 4, I do believe, the markdown, and is reaching a market exhaustion in here. And one of the things that we really want to look at is this junction in here where the market just sort of have stopping volume, where you reach exhaustion in here, and using the peak valley, it's another way of looking. So you can see market been down, red Pentagon, just one green bar, ticked up but couldn't break into the 20-day moving average, and since then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down bar in here. Today, just right now, it's having a test. Volumes are pretty low, so we just have to wait for the end of the day to see how this market's going to turn back up. And if it does eventually turn green Pentagon, that's going to be next week, which I will cover in our breakfast show in here. You could see market hitting the low around 1370. The 20-day moving average is something that this market need to break higher. Okay, if it can't break higher, that means it. So we just will have to wait for the green Pentagon. But right now, I do think we are seeing and beginning of a stage 1 market accumulation in here. Now, on using the VSI market indicator, you can see market has been really oversold over here. The market did go lower, but you could see the market stages did not go lower. Of course, best time is to wait for the market stages to turn above the zero value in here. Then you can see the market going higher. So right now, the market has sort of really pulled down. This is a weekly chart. This is a daily chart here. You can see market weekly chart has been pulled more than it is, down to 13.8%. Traditionally, it's been 8%, 12%, 10%. So it has blown out of mind, and we need to see a 2-bar reversal. You can see at this point, That's why we see a lot of the time the market will reverse. So in here, we are just seeing one small upthrust, and make sure you want to get the VSA 360 to see further, and then the market will start to rally up in here. So in what we want to know is, just like many of our 20-day challenge that our member have, they're able to trade to this market difficulty, market time. So you want to look for good trading shares with stage 2 markup and focusing on the Pentagon Guider in here. These are some of the rules we've shared here before. You can also find them in here. So let's take a look at last week, 7th of October, and we also look at some of the stocks that we have this morning. Now, if you look back from last week, we just focus on the green Pentagon picking up above 47 cents. We have Avanta at 936, another green Pentagon. So you just want to put the VSA 360 in front of you in here. Just look for those green Pentagon as they come up. You can see Muda came out too. Let's take a look at those two stocks. Muda was picked up at 936. You can see here at 585. Notice the market stages was above the zero line in here. And right this week, after 1 week, it did go up and hit 62.5 cents for 6.8% with a potential price gain of 341 from a 5k trade in here, just simply buying on the Pentagon intraday trade. And again, these are something that we've been showing you almost every Friday, the benefit of the Pentagon Guider. See it as a way of backtesting to convince you, especially our members who have got this system in here, to benefit from able to capitalize a little bit of a profit that you see up here, at least to have some sort of like a fish. When you go out and do fishing every day, make sure you're able to catch some fish. On another stock, Muda, pick it up at 175 at 10:11 a.m. in here. Notice the market stages are still below the zero, but let me just get back to this again. Sorry, the market did sort of have no follow through with this stock in here, a little bit illiquid, and that's why you see in here. But because this is also due to the construction which came out in news, hasn't been that big tally, but that was rising on anticipation of big project in here. So let's see in the coming weeks what it will turn to. Now on the further time frame, we can also see at we have 3 here, 1044. We have Centra, ATEC, and Kajaya. So the focus, those of you who have this in here, especially those of you who sign up the 10-10 one, you want to be using the intraday green Pentagon in here. So let's take a look at that. Centra, pick it up at 1044 at 87 cents and holding it to 89.5 cents for 2.8%, about 143 ringgit price gain for a 5k, just on the case of buying on the Pentagon Guided daily chart here. All right. Then you have another one, Aurelis Technology, ATEC, 188, 1044, above the zero line here. And this, this one didn't did very well because we did have a major sell-off. But right now with the dividend adjustment that we pay, you're still back about 179. And again, remember, we saw it on the technology sector, technology sector being one of the worst performer, and that's why this stock, having said that, it still managed to hold its position, didn't fall that much compared to some of the bigger sector. So those of you who want to be a bit picky, when you find this Pentagon Guided shares, make sure they align with some of those budget shares or budget related topic that we talk about here. Then there's another one called Kajaya. This is again another, I think Kajaya is construction here. 116 at 1055. Market did break above the zero value in here. And right now hit 120 this morning in here for a 3.4%. A possible target of 172 from a 5k. Now remember, last week the market was having 1, 2, 3, 4 bar down. Yet the intraday movement of the Pentagon Guide able to pick some of these stocks that I shared with you before. Of course, it's easy said than done for you. You just need to back test it and check it out on our system in here. And for those of you who've been regularly following every Friday, you probably have some sort of a rough idea how I've been doing this again in here. And of course, for those of you who cannot follow it, we do send out a daily intraday report of all the stocks. You can see SB Tech. This is the one that you can see possible when the entry price, the high within a day, 6%. Those are the one, but there are some green Pentagon, there are some OTEC, the OTUT, which is the uptrust in here, and these are some of the important VSA method that we always willing to share with the members and the public to showcase to you. Now at the end of the day, the Pentagon idea is pretty similar. Like we do know the month of September has been great selling, so October month will give you some reasonable success, and we have seen not all of them in here, but again every day got fishes. More importantly, the criteria, make sure you pick them above the 47 cents, good volume 3 to 4%, maximum 8 to 10, and usually you want to be out within the 5 days. That's going to be good in here. So that's a more effective rather than using one fishing rod, you're using 3 fishing rod here. So let's look at this morning, some of the stocks that we have. So you want to get ready your pencil in here, looking at a premium alert in here. This one here, the premium alert. All right. So what we have this morning, a fair bit of guys, Opcon, Kobe, Ionic, and E-Metal. So you don't need to go to the trading view. You can actually see it from here. So let's look at Hector. You can see Hector in here. That's a pretty nice one here. You can see Hector, right, turning up. That's one. Hector. That's Opcon. Nice one. This one is up already 10%. Kobe is one of those technology stocks, right? I think they do batteries, some sort of EV in here. Iconic, this one is oil and gas. E-Metal. Okay, E-Metal in here. And Avanta has a nice follow through, and that's the one that we have, right? Avanta turned green Pentagon, because last week it did turn in the morning, but later on became an upthrust. But once it take out that upthrust, that means the rubber glove stocks. So you want to avoid those red Pentagon. If you have some of these stocks that they are red Pentagon, maybe it's time for you to do something about it. So that's something for our members who have got whole of this intraday alert in here. So take a look at these stocks, because next week we're going to be coming back to check it out, some of these stocks, and see how well. And remember, Ionic, it's 11 cents. So if you're a beginner, you want to stay out from this. We prefer anything that is above the 47 cents in here. All right. So that's the stock candidate, just like the 20-day moving 20-day challenge member in here, Eric, able to profit even the month that the KLCI was dropping in here. So one of the campaigns that we are willing to do in here going forward is to those of you who sign up on the 1010 in here, we're going to have a bonus course this Saturday in here, which is tomorrow. So I'll see you again, some of the members in here, and those of you who sign up, how to capitalize on this budget 2023 and GE15, looking at those releases and using the technique that we share with you in here, the VSA 360 intraday, to see that in here, because that will be the campaign for our 100-day onboarding trade VSA orientation in here, whether you're a regular guy, retired, or a newbie or professional. We always have something for you that you're able to benefit from this market in here. The tools are here. The question is, are you ready or not, right? For those of you who have been with us for we thank you for your support. We want to ensure that you begin your journey for our 100-day onboarding, which will start in November. And for those of you who are still a bit on the fence, you want to try out our 10-day free trial, you can definitely do so with our Google coaching. And if you already sign up for our package in here, great deals ahead. And for as low as 2 ringgit, you have in here. And thank you for all these years, a lot of great support for your major review in here. We are still up there in here, and continuing from our team for strong finish in here. We do think this month of October will definitely give you a lot of money. So join me again on this coming Wednesday for the 19th of October. But more importantly, take some position or do some paper trading to convince yourself that you're able to benefit from this market in here. All right, so that's all we have. And if you want to stand a chance to win the 1,000 ringgit worth of 3-month membership, just give us a review on Google. That's all you need to do, right? And if it's a good one been selected, you get a chance to use some of the things we talk about in today. All right, now we're going to be looking at some of the stocks. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil those in. But I think many of you would have already know usually the kind of indicator that I'll talk about, the Pentagon Guider in here, should put you into a better position in here. If not, thank you for coming in here, and thank you. All the best. Have a good weekend in here. And I do think going forward, lots of opportunity to make money in here, and make sure you are ready with your firepower. All right, that's all I have, and thank you for sharing this YouTube in your timeline, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, and of course, which is our Telegram chat room. That's where my morning briefing of the overall market every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll give you my intake. So you we have May here for Top Glove. Sure, let's take a look at Top Glove. I think Top Glove, it's coming back. I think that's one of the stocks in here. You may have it, but my recommendation is get ready to probably sell it. Okay, get ready to sell some as it go higher in here. All right, I do know eventually in many periods or many weeks it will go higher, but then again you need to release some of the funds. But what happens if it doesn't? All right, I think that's also something that we have learned in the past. If you need to cut loss, you need to cut loss. If you need to take profit, you take profit in here, which we have been saying for all of them. And I do hope that May will join us this coming tomorrow for our bonus course in here, if not in one of our future paid program, and use the VSA to your advantage. All right, so that's all I have. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing in here. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.